in the amount of $102,778.77. The water reserve fund was billed $12,290.26. The sewer fund, sewer billing was $33,239.74, with the sewer reserve at $3,372.49, with a total of billing of $151,681.26. And in arrears was $24,006.73, with a total of $175,687.99, and the total number of bills was 89. So we need to approve that, which we can do, accept the water billing, which we can do as a voice.
The 89 is wrong. I think that's wrong. That's wrong.
Is that just a sewer?
No, that's just,
Okay.
some.
All right. Scratch that. Okay, all right. Okay, but for the billing,
I'll
may I
make
have
a motion that we accept the billing for the water and sewer for this trimester.
Second.
all in favor?
I
Great, thank you.
It was 889.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the total number of invoice, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the next item is the Rock Street Dog Park discussion. This is a project that the task force, the Parks and Recreation Task Force, has been talking about, and also on the survey that we did, it was a very popular item in favor of developing a dog park. And we did have, and a couple of years ago when Jill Taft was on the board, she was very interested in this, and she was working on it. And we had a survey done of our property out at the end of Rock Street. And there's part of that property that we'd like to use as a dog park, but we're not going to call it a dog park.
Right.
because,
Is it on the other side of the sewer plant or on?
It's right on the corner where the pumping station is. There's a strip
Okay, so
along there.
it's before
Yeah.
the sewer.
Yeah. But I was out there today, just walking, and I didn't see, boundary markers. We
We
did,
did do a survey.
yeah, we had a
That-
survey,
That area is about 1 acre, it's surveyed.
right, it's surveyed, it's about 1 acre. And we had talked about it, and the task force is really interested in it. Of course, a lot of things would have to be decided, like, what would the rules be? What is needed for fencing? Some other things. But one of the people on the task force has someone who would like to donate some money toward the dog play area, I'm calling it, instead of park.
Canine recreation area.
Oh, yeah. Everyone.
Canine recreation area.
There you go, the canine recreation area. So I just, before we proceed any further, the board had never really said, okay, go ahead and look into this. And we had applied for a grant.
Right.
Jill applied for a grant. We did
Right.
not get
Yeah.
that grant.
Right.
But she did apply for it, so we had approved it, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows
Yeah.
that they're working on this, and we may get a donation that would be, we want to develop a budget. for
Okay,
it.
so the surface of the fenced in area is gonna be grass, or no?
Yeah,
And the DPW
I
is going
don't
to.
really know the answer to that.
Right.
I
think
mean,
we need to-
Yeah,
There
I would
are a lot
assume-
of rules and regulations about what the interior of it needs to be, the fencing, how
Right.
close it can be to other buildings and other areas.
Right.
There are a lot of rules
There
and
are,
regulations.
Just along with the public has to be aware of the stipulations for the state based on your dog licensing or shots and all that stuff too. Because
Yeah.
if you have an issue between aggressive dogs, you're gonna have an issue there.
okay, so what were you, I didn't know what you just said, I heard you, but would you say that again, please?
Your rules and regulations of what dogs are allowed in there.
Right.
The public needs to be aware of
Right.
that. Your
Right.
dog isn't maintained certain ways
Yeah,
based on aggression, shots, you name
Right.
it.
right.
You'll
Right, we will
solve
have
the
to
problem.
develop rules that will have to be on a sign that are up there, and obviously, there's no one, we we do have an animal control officer. And I suppose if there was a big problem there, we could call her and ask her to go down and enforce something, but overall, we'd like it to run without needing to be enforced, you know, that there are rules and people have to follow them, and we hope they do. So, you wanna be on the committee? Yeah, it's really a popular idea, but obviously there's a lot of planning that has to go on, but before we started that planning, I didn't want to do that without the board saying, okay,
Oh, I think that we were in favor of exploring the whole thing for.
we were. Jane couldn't find anything in the minutes, though, that said that we had
No,
officially said, yeah, you can take that land.
We did.
into-" Yeah,
you know, you had talked about designating it or
Well,
not designating it.
Yeah, if you dedicate it as a park,
It
then
is
it's
not, no,
permanently.
we are not that, it's a
Right.
canine recreation
Yeah,
area.
okay,
Right.
so if the use, the board wants to be sure that the use could be changed in the future.
Right,
Could be used for a different municipal purpose.
which might
like
include
a chicken recreation area.
chicken recreation area, a ferret recreation area, or
Something,
a larger footprint for our sewer
Right.
treatment facility.
correct, right. So, okay, so I'm not asking for anything formal, I'm just,
Yeah, no,
Touching
I
base with
think that,
everyone.
you know,
I
we
think
need
it's-
to know what it is that
before
has
we,
to be done before we can
Right.
make any.
it will have to be, there will have to be some trees and vegetation removed, you know.
Well-
Are there state regulations?
I would look into it. Yes,
I
Yeah,
If the village is saying this is open to you, the village has some responsibility there.
right,
Based on bites, other things that go on, and Bob can get with you on that. So that's what I'm saying, just
Okay.
look out for those before you say, hey, here's your dog park.
yeah,
So you're not in the
absolutely,
middle of it as the
Right.
village, that's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I think in order to make it's worth exploring, but in order to make a yay or nay decision,
Oh, yeah.
we have
No,
to
no,
explore
all
the
the-
particulars and details
Yeah.
and
Right.
understand
the liability and the state regulations.
Yes.
Okay,
what the risks and benefits are.
Andy, could you look into those, the state regs on canine recreation areas?
There you go.
Good. It's amazing how many people are, yeah, we need that, we really want one, so. Anyway, well, okay, that's all we'll say about that, but I also want to say that when the task force has an actual plan, they will certainly bring it in for approval before they do anything, including take money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, all right. Okay, so on that note, at the last meeting, we said we wanted to schedule a public workshop to discuss what Parks and Recreation Task Force would like to do, including at the reservoir and other places, and I'd like to just schedule it, I'd like to put it on our schedule. So, and not February, obviously, sometime in March. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
well, did we set our budget schedule yet?
No, that's next.
Well, I think we should do the budget schedule first and then do the parks.
Okay.
Okay, just because the budget's a higher priority.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that. Okay. So. Who has a calendar to look at? And. We need how many, we need about 3 budget workshops, right?
Yeah, they don't all have to be in March. They can be in April,
Right,
so.
but I'd like to have I would like to have the public workshop for the Parks and Recreation in March,
In March.
yes. But we could, we could still be working on the budget. After
Yeah.
March. What,
No, I know. It's tight.
yeah, it is tight. So. I had set a schedule of by April 20th, we have to give a tentative budget to the clerk, correct?
Which is a
Then
Saturday.
we should have 2 budget meetings in March.
Okay. Willie, can you suggest some, I mean, do you have the calendar?
I have my calendar up.
What's bad for you?
Um. I will not be in town the 1st of March, and I will not be in town the week of March 18th.
Okay.
So
that leaves.
When
us-
do you get
why don't
back?
we talk
I
about
will,
when
I
we
will
can have-
be back on the 22nd. But so the week of the 11th, I'm open, and the week of the 25th of March.
Okay,
And what's our meeting, March 11th?
March 11th. Is our regular meeting.
When you wanna do one that week and then one the week that he comes
Yeah.
back?
what about the possibility of combining the budget workshops? They're often not very long.
One with a regular, with the regular board meeting on the 11th?
No,
No, no,
no.
oh, with.
Combining with the,
Parks
with
and
the, with the
Recreation
workshop
meeting.
on parks and, on moving ahead with some, projects for parks and recreation.
I think maybe if we do that, that might wanna be the second meeting after we've kind of set out our general budgetary
Well-
blueprint on the first one.
No, I think the first one,
The first
Yeah.
one,
yeah.
how much
Yeah.
they want, or what they're looking for.
No, they're
Well,
not,
I mean, they need to give us
right,
something to work with.
To work
Right.
with,
Yeah,
okay. And
okay. So
Alright.
that would be the week of the 11th. So
Yeah.
the 11th is our meeting. So what is the other evening that we'd like to meet have a budget workshop? We usually have those at 6, right?
yeah,
And-
it really depends on,
And usually the department heads come
Right.
to. So what are your constraints in terms of dates?
Tuesdays are bad.
Doesn't matter, I can be,
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't.
You're not gonna be away any of those days.
in March.
that's what an assistant chief's for.
Or, no, wait a second, no.
Well,
wait a
now,
minute.
I'm
Yeah.
on the budget.
You know, February's
No,
not
as far
over.
as,
We could have one in February.
Yeah,
You know, we could actually,
I don't think the department heads have met with the treasurer yet.
no,
so
but
maybe-
that's okay, that, yeah,
Right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Then I'll-
yeah, we're not, I don't think it's gonna be exactly the same as it was since we.
Last week of February.
that's not, the last week in February doesn't work for me at all.
Okay, and is that the only week that's left? What about next week?
There's next week.
Am I losing a week?
No, there's next week,
the 23rd,
it's the week of the 19th.
19th. No, so there's, like, I'm fine with any of these states until, something
Right,
comes up.
Okay, so the week of the 19th. How about, what would be the night for you, Maria? Is Tuesday a possible
No,
night?
Tuesday, CCG.
The 19th is the election.
Yeah.
so we're here.
Right. Oh, yeah.
19th February?
You can't
No.
do one.
Oh,
we're
so I
good.
thought you were in March,
No.
sorry.
Thursday.
What about,
Thursday?
what about Wednesday? Is Wednesday open?
Wednesday's not open.
Okay.
Or
Good.
Tuesday,
Okay,
Thursday, the,
22nd.
okay, we can get.
Of this
Okay.
one,
Mhm.
and it's good for you?
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll start at 6?
Good.
Okay. Okay, and do we want to ask,
February
Corey?
22nd.
yeah, February 22nd, 6
Well, the
p.m.
DPW budget is the most complicated,
Mhm,
so, do Bob and
they're right here.
Corey, does that work for you? And then if we've got issues, then we can come back to you again.
Yeah, we should be able,
You're fine?
you can find it? Okay,
Yes,
thanks.
Thursday night at the 22nd, I think is the date.
Be in Pittsburgh, I come back the 23rd.
I'll take the budgets.
You're not. You and Steve.
How's that work for you, Mike? Why don't we do the two of them and then,
Yeah, okay.
and then
Whatever it is.
when's the next date?
The next date would be March 11th,
March
March 11th, so what night that would, do you wanna just?
Or March 4th, and what about that week, the following week?
Oh, Yeah,
We could do,
I can't do it the Monday or Tuesday, but, because I'm gonna be away for a week.
You wanna do Thursday again, the 7th?
Yeah, let's do that. That's good, good,
Excellent.
okay.
So.
So then,
GFG.
the week of the 11th, we can have the workshop about the Parks and
Right,
Recreation.
with fire, yeah.
Yeah,
March 7th, 6 P.M. budget, and March 11th, you said?
Mhm.
That's our regular
Well-
board meeting night.
That's a yeah. It's a
Mhm.
Thursday, Jane. I think it was the 7th, right?
7th, and also the 22nd, which is next week.
right. Okay, wait, the 22nd, the 7th, and then March 7th, and then.
March
we can-
11th.
Is the-
March
That's our
11th is our
regular-
regular
regular
board
That's the
meeting.
Monday.
Oh, and then in
Yeah.
April?
No, no,
Okay.
it
No,
would
no,
just
I know,
have
now
to
we're
be,
going into April.
no, it would just have to be March
Do the Thursday, if you can.
14th.
The 14th, just do the.
It would be Thursday, the 14th,
When's the election? The 13th?
19th.
19th. Okay, great. Thanks, everyone.
Whatever.
So Corey, are you all set with, you would be able to come,
March 11th.
yeah, great,
I'll be
okay,
there.
great, thank you. All right, next item is, we've done that, the resolution, for the standard workday reporting. Do we have,
We do. So this is, we pass the same resolution regularly, but this one has Willie's 3-month record of activities.
let me see. Oh, okay. Good. Okay, good, thanks. Okay, so this is another resolution. This is the standard workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Greenwich does hereby establish the following standard workdays for these titles. And will report the officials to the New York State and local retirement system based on their record of activities. So the attached form is attached. And we will be submitting this to New York State. Do I need to read the form? No, okay. Okay, so I just need we have the form, it's completed.
I'll make the resolution
All right,
that we report the standard workday to New York State.
okay. For Willie, okay,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you.
Aye.
Okay, so the last thing is we have the parade permit for the Memorial Day parade. Oh, I guess one thing we should go back to talking about Whipple City. We had, as a committee, decided not to have a parade for Whipple City. And just trying to get reaction. Does anyone feel anything about that, one way or the other? Because we have the Memorial Day parade, which is very close to when Whipple City Day parade is.
They're close to one another. The only question I would have is, is the parade as an event, does it bring a lot of people in that otherwise wouldn't attend, otherwise wouldn't be there, and then they stay? And the answer may be no, but that's the only question
Yeah.
I would have.
I don't think so. I think we would like to really start fresh and that the parade shouldn't get a lot of participants.
It didn't have any bands.
No
which
bands
is
this
really,
year and, it wasn't a theme and I just think it needs to be rethought, it could be added. But we really want to see the whole event be fresh. And that we thought that it would be better to dial it back this year. And again, if we get more groups that are involved, then maybe every group then would want to be in the parade because they're having, they're part of the festival. So it's not.
I'm sure that makes
Yeah, is that enough?
Sanko,
Okay.
very happy.
Okay, thank you.
Never seen the file.
Yeah.
I know, breaks your heart. All 45
We're gonna get along from there.
Okay, well, if anybody really has strong feelings about the parade, you can express them outside this meeting. Okay, all right, we have this permit for Memorial Day from Jeannie Pemrick. Which is a parade permit. It will be on May 24th. It's the VFW, and it's on May 24th, Friday night, from 5 to 7 p.m. It's the Memorial Day Parade. It starts on Washington Street, march down Main Street, turn after Stewart's, and then they go to the VFW, and there's a ceremony there. And they do have insurance. The VFW's insurance is American Insurance. And they have a policy. So that will cover it, and that's one of the requirements. They would like a police car escort.
Yeah.
Would they talk to you about that?
We do whatever we do.
Yeah, okay. All right, and so that's it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the VFW's parade permit for the Memorial Day parade on the 24th of May.
Okay, second, please.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Okay. Okay, so now we are, we don't have any other correspondence. We have public comment. Would anyone like to make any additional comments or Lynn?
I just had one question from last month. Were Leaves questions resolved? That was an awkward moment last month about the minutes from October.
Yes. Andy,
Well, we asked her to submit the question in writing. She didn't do it, but her question was basically, does the village deny park permits or parade permits if they are political in nature? And the answer to that is no, the village does not do that.
I just realized, Jim, we didn't give you a chance to talk.
That's all right.
And I would like to.
I've spoken at every other meeting, so.
You have, but did you have anything, any updates?
I was just here if anybody had any questions and to say thank you, it's my pleasure, and we'll still be in touch because the final closeout of the project won't happen until probably May, sometime in May, maybe early June, just depends on how things dry out, so we can get up and just get the seating done.
Mhm.
I do have, the last check was dropped off after the last meeting, but the total revenue for the village after my portion is $252,397.80.
Okay. Now, we will want to schedule a walkthrough, and the walkthrough could include people on the committees, this committee, that committee, and you.
The more the merrier.
Okay.
We've done that.
Oh,
since day
one thing I was wondering about was, apparently, when you do the cleanup up there, are you doing anything to the trails that have somebody told me there's some roughness on the trails from.
Yeah, the trails
vehicles.
have been cleaned. Everything was leveled when we left, other than just the area out front right there where the cars parked. Where we had wood stacked, they just needed to let it settle and dry in, and then they're gonna bring a skid steer back and level and then get seated in and everything. Everything else in the woods and all the trails were level.
Mhm.
So I have to just look at that. If it's something that we can fix pretty easily, I don't think I'll have a problem with that. But the trails itself, the yellow trail is cleaned. I mean, there may be some small sticks, but those are
Mhm.
typical. And then the red trail, that's the trail we have to discuss on relocating just because.
Right, right. And are there any down trees that are blocking trails at this point?
There weren't when I was there. That doesn't mean that there isn't now.
Mhm.
That last time I was there a month or so, a month and a half ago, there wasn't any of that ice. So
Okay.
actually, we removed a few when we did the yellow trail that were,
Mhm.
we didn't work. Where's no work happened, but there was trees across, so we just went through the excavator and cleaned them.
Mhm. So, and we talked about putting some kind of barricade so cars cannot drive through those back
Yeah, that was something
roads.
we talked about, somewhere near where the sign is up there, trying to block that access so that cars can't get through there, but yet, we can still get
Near the,
EMT and stuff through there.
which sign? I'm sorry.
Where the park sign is now.
Yeah.
Somewhere there, to just keep car access because.
Somebody was trying to drive up there. I saw wheel ruts when I was. up
Yeah,
there.
so I mean, that's gonna happen if the roads are there, kids are gonna explore. I mean, we had, the one vehicle that got locked in, drove across the neighbor's field to get out, so. They were warned that the gate was getting locked within 10 minutes and they just
So,
didn't keep the light.
Do you have any waste blocks? Yeah, concrete.
Up there.
Okay, so maybe
We
we
can
can
figure it out, yeah.
strategically place a couple of waste blocks.
Yeah, just to keep.
I know waste lots, I did.
Just a
Big
concrete
concrete
block,
blocks
but they can be moved.
Junk.
with a loader typically, but you're not gonna drive a car
The
around.
only thing you just wanna make sure is that there's a space big enough to get maybe some
Like
kind of
a
UTV or something.
yeah,
and if
you're right.
they had a rescue. Injuries.
Yeah.
Mhm,
That kind of stuff, but
mhm.
mainly just to keep automobile traffic.
Right.
Back away from, the pond, and I mean, I've seen cars parked right down on a dam, and they really shouldn't be down there.
Right for thought, on the state trails now, they're putting the pylons in.
Yeah,
But
follow.
the middle one is a pole pylon,
Right.
so you can pull it and actually drive a vehicle, so like the chief, if he had to get up in there with a
Yeah.
brush truck or something, you can pull the middle pylon, it allows a car
Yeah.
access to get in there and just.
What is the, what's the?
It's basically
Slides into a sleeve that's got a lock sleeve on it.
A piece of concrete.
no, it's
like
it's a piece of, it's steel pipe, basically,
Okay,
with a
It's padlock. The
Padlock.
is-
Padlock.
So nobody could just pull it up automatically, you have a
Right.
key for it, you can unkey it, pull it up, and now you get access to the four-wheel drive vehicle.
Oh.
It's just leaving a UTV,
Yeah,
as the chief knows, you could have too many instances where you can get a four-wheel drive, brush fires, anything up in there.
okay. Okay, so we should think about that when we talk about budget for, for the place,
right.
to be able to secure it.
They're nice, they can be kind of a pain in the neck to install.
shouldn't be.
Mhm. How about the hole in the ground, the well, have we solved that?
He marked it out, we're
Uh-huh.
waiting for.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the right weather to get in there.
Right, okay. But that's something I'd like to
Yeah.
either have flagged or covered
Yeah,
before we
we-
actually open it
If
to
it'll
the
get
public.
covered by the time spring really arrives, we should probably, put maybe some of the orange fencing around it just to keep, sometimes it's better not to like highlight it so that
Mhm,
people
right.
don't get curious, but.
Mhm.
Curious.
There's a well that we found.
There's a little hand up well on the property from wherever it's well over 10 feet deep, so. But the manhole cover will certainly cover the concrete.
Yeah.
It's definitely-
Okay, so we'll be in touch to schedule,
Yeah. I'm
you
not
go,
planning on going anywhere in the next
No?
2 or 3 months, so.
no more trips to Hawaii or anything?
No, that was last year.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, so public comment, Dean, did you just come to?
No,
enjoy it?
54 Eddy Street again.
Ah,
I already wrote that down.
Yup, and I've got tons more pictures, so there's more graph.
As I drove by, I
It looks,
definitely see what you're talking about.
oh, I do
I know
too.
I was told it went to a county level and I've heard nothing back and nothing's happened there.
All right,
And the
so,
owners
well,
are not
it's,
counting.
with our new law, it's our, enforcement officer's job to send them a notice of violation. I'll
And he will-
contact Eric, tomorrow.
Just
And
keep,
then-
you know, that's all.
Okay.
That way I don't keep bothering you guys, just keep me in the
No.
loop, you know, something's going on.
No,
The
I,
owners of it are, I've dug into them a little bit.
Who is the owner?
They live in Hudson Falls.
Yeah,
I'll
what's
leave
their
it at that.
name?
I'll give you you want their information?
Yeah,
and is it a
Liam
rental?
Bruno.
Yes, Bruno or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
out of here.
And it's rented to somebody? A tenant lives there?
Yeah, it's not, I'm guessing it's the tenant stuff, you know what I mean? By all means, but I made contact initially with Peter. His wife answered the phone and I got a runaround that they were supposed to be evicted by the following month.
Right, I remember
Something
that.
happened and then.
still the owner's responsibility.
Absolutely, so it's correct.
And it's, the building is questionable whether it could get a certificate of
Probably.
occupancy.
Absolutely,
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's, I think, what the whole street's looking for, honestly. This has been a go on, you know, it's been for 20 years.
Brian Mule was, you know, I remember him telling us that there, you know, there's no floor when you walk in. And, you know, children are living there, so it's not a safe thing.
Yep.
And what about Dr. Sarchino? Didn't he go there or did not?
I don't have
No.
anything from him,
Okay,
but we'll get on that one.
All right, yeah, and then they said, just reach out to me. That's all. So I know what's going on. Andy, you got my number anyways. And
okay,
keep me in the loop. So I
Okay.
can keep.
Give me your.
518-796-7823.
Dean, are there children living there?
I personally have not seen children there. I've been advised by neighbors that children have been going in and out of there, but I don't know if there's somebody else's that, you know, their grandma and grandpa. I do know that of some sort, so
Okay.
it very well could be theirs,
All right.
you know.
okay, thanks,
Yeah,
thanks
thank
for
you.
bugging us about this, because
Thank
it's,
you.
you know, we appreciate it. Okay, does anyone else have any other, anything to discuss? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn the regular meeting? And then we're gonna go into executive session to deal with personnel issues.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you, everyone.